Internship season. It's the time of the year when everyone is running around either asking how to tie a tie or if anyone has formal shoes, people trying to make their resumes in time for the deadline, or doing interview bit or lead code or whatever. Basically, it's really chaotic and no one has any idea what to do. I was the same, but somehow, after tons of rejections and an eternity of waiting, I finally got it. So in this video, we're going to talk about how I landed a foreign research internship in Germany and how it changed my life. So if you're new to the channel, I'm Sagar and I'm an incoming PhD student at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. Let's go. So the internship season starts right after second year summers, and like a lot of people, I had two options. One was to sit for corporate internship through the Students Placement Office of IIT Kanpur or the SPO, and the second was try for a research internship. So I was heavily inclined towards the research side because one, I had already done a research project the previous summers and I had enjoyed it. I had gotten nice results, and all in all the project was a success. So I kind of wanted to continue that and build my research profile even further. And the second reason was I wanted to travel around, which maybe shouldn't be the only reason, but in my opinion, it was a good enough secondary reason. So I'd already been told that it was quite hard to land a research internship, so I'd also registered through SPO and was trying for corporate internships for backup. Okay, so to give you some background, there is a concept of day one companies in colleges, which is the first day of interviews. The more sought after or the more prestigious the company is, the higher are its chances of arriving on campus on day one. So everyone applies for these companies and prepares for them. I also did, not much the preparation part, but at least I did apply. So to name a few, I think there was ITC and there was HUL, and I think that was it. Okay, so first of all, there are not many day one companies, or just companies for that matter, for the mechanical department, which was my department. Because in India, even in IITs, like 80% of these companies that come to campus come for software roles, and the remaining 20% are just scattered across different departments. So basically, there's very less core departmental kind of companies or roles available. So yeah, I applied to them and I got rejected. Now when I think about it, I think it was kind of nice in a way that I didn't get the internships, because if I had gotten an internship on day one, who knows, I might not have applied to research internships in the first place, because I have an internship now. Why put in so much effort? Anyway, after that, few companies kept coming to campus intermittently and I kept applying to them because I still had to keep SPO as a backup in case the research thing didn't work out. So around October, this one firm called KPIT came to campus, and their job description was doing some kind of heat transfer simulations or something. So it was sort of related to mechanical. So yeah, I applied to them, and somehow they were very interested in my profile. I think it was because in my second year project I had done some kind of simulations, and the work they were hiring for was similar as well. Anyway, they scheduled a phone interview and they were asking me a bunch of questions. Some of them I answered and some not. So during the interview, I even told them that I was inclined towards research, so I was looking for research internship separately, but they didn't really seem to care about it. And then at one point they asked me that if I knew MATLAB, and I just said no. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have said that. It was kind of rude. But as you might have observed, this interview wasn't something you'd call a success. But they still offered me an internship. So I was like, what? Anyway, after this, I was kind of relieved that at least I have a backup now, at least I have an internship. I called home, I told my parents that yeah, I have this internship, but I wasn't really happy at the time. So I knew that I had to keep applying. Okay, so now let's come to the actual research internship part. So there are two ways to apply for foreign research internships. First is through internship programs, and second is through cold emailing professors. There are lots of internship programs for Indian students like DART, MyTax, SN Bose, Charpak, etc. etc. each of them for a different country. I'm not going to go into detail for each of them. I'll mostly just talk about my own experience. Okay, so I applied to 3 of these internship programs: DART, which was for Germany, MyTax, which is for Canadian universities, and RIA, which is a research program by the Ohio State University specifically for Indian mechanical engineering students. Pretty specific, right? So I already knew that getting in through these internship programs is a bit difficult. These are highly competitive programs and they are very much focused on your GPA. So my GPA or CPI or whatever you want to call it was 9 at the time, and I got rejected from DART. I got to know that people with a GPA of 9.6 or higher got in. And then again, I got rejected from MyTax. Again, I got to know that people with a GPA of 9.8 or higher got in. And for RIA, there were 2 stages in the application process. First was where you had to fill out this big form listing out your projects, education, experience, etc. Kind of like a resume. And once you got through that stage, then you were invited for a telephonic interview. So I made it through the first stage and then I had my phone interview. I thought it went well, but again, I didn't get in. So I guess you'll have some kind of idea how competitive these programs are. Obviously, it feels a bit bad not getting in anywhere after filling out those huge forms, spending all that time making your CV, hounding professors for letters of recommendation and all. But it's alright. I already had some idea how difficult it was to get into these programs, so I was also cold emailing professors at the same time, which I think might be anyone's best bet to land a research internship. Okay, so to get started with emailing, you need 3 things. First is your CV or your resume, listing down all your prior research experience, your projects, your skills, etc. etc. It should be 2 pages max. Second is your grade sheet or your transcripts, which lists down all your grades in all your courses, which you should definitely attach with the email you're sending. And third is the actual email template that you're going to use to send emails, right? So now let's talk about my profile at the time I was applying. My GPA was 9 on 10. I had done a research project the previous summers and I had a conference paper on it. I also had 2 robotics club projects and that was it. Okay. So the email template I was using at the time went something like this. I would start by introducing myself, my name, 3rd year mechanical engineering student from IIT Kanpur, blah blah blah. Then I would mention my GPA and then I'd list down my research interests, which were a lot at the time because I just basically wanted anything I could get. After that, I would briefly describe my research project that I'd done last summers and I would mention the conference paper as well. And then finally I would say stuff like, I came across your webpage, I found this part of your research pretty interesting, I read so and so research paper of yours, I found that specific area very interesting, things like that. Then towards the end, I would include links to my resume and my grade sheet, and that was it. If you want to have a look at the email template, I'll link it down in the description box below and you can use it as well. Once I had my email template ready, I just went to the faculty pages of universities and looked for professors whose work aligned with my areas of interest, and I just emailed them. A lot of the times going to the actual web page of that professor helped because it would have the list of, other research groups and other professors they were collaborating with. So I would email them as well. I also searched Google Scholar pages for my areas of interest and found professors there working in my field. Basically, I emailed a whole lot of people. I would try to send around 4 to 5 emails per day. Mostly I got no replies. Some negative replies saying that they didn't have any positions available, and some offers for unpaid internships. Around that time, I was really obsessively checking my email, just refreshing it all the time, waiting for a reply. Didn't even matter whether it was positive or negative. So at this point, one really important tip I can give you is that do not get dejected by negative replies and just be consistent. I know it can be really hard at times, especially when people all around you are getting all these corporate internships and posting everywhere on social media with hashtags like Andha Paisa or Summer Sorted or whatever. But believe me, if you do get a foreign research internship, it'll all be worth it. So, as I've already mentioned in one of my previous videos, the internship I got was at the Max Planck Institute for Dynamics and Self-Organization in Germany. Here's how I got it. So, sometime around September, I'd emailed the director of the Max Planck Institute asking for an internship. Obviously, the director didn't reply, but his scientific assistant did reply to me, informing me about their internship program called the Ludwig Prandtl Internship Program, and he asked me if I wanted to be considered for the program. I just replied yes, not thinking much about it at the time. Then months had passed, and after December, I'd almost given up. I would barely send one or two emails if I ever felt like it. I was really exhausted by the process and I just totally given up. I was pretty sure that I had to go for that corporate internship that I'd gotten through SPO. But then, sometime around January, I'm sitting in my room with some of my friends and I get one really exciting email from the MPIDS telling me that I've been selected for their internship program. I'd finally done it. I was the happiest I'd been in months, and I just kept rereading the email again and again just to make sure it was real. It was just an amazing feeling. And that's it, guys. That's how I landed a foreign research internship in Germany. If you want to know more about my actual experience in Germany during my internship, you should read the article I wrote about it. I will link it down below somewhere in the description box and have a look. So that's it for the video and see you soon. Oh, just wait a sec. Almost forgot.